Hello Harp Techs, welcome to HARPSMITH Benchcraft. My name is Kenya Pollard, I am your HARPSMITH. Today's episode, The Elusive Obvious, will be showing you things that are hiding in plain sight that if you knew what they were, it would enhance your harmonica playing. I call them sweeteners. Today we will be taking a deep dive into sweetener number 1. So clear off your workbench. Let's get to it. Spoiler alert, sweetener number 1 is about the cover plate. The megaphone of the harmonica responsible for shaping the sound that your audience will be listening to. So how do you choose? How can it possibly make a difference? That's what we will be looking at today. Allow me to tidy up, and I'll go deeper. When investigating cover plates, it is always helpful to go back to the beginning to see where the benchmark was created. The Marine Band Hohner. This model's 1896, which is the year it was patented. And of course, we marvel at the artwork, especially the ornate artwork on the bottom cover plate here. But most important is the curvature. Of the cover plate. So important was the curvature that Matthias Hohner wrote in his patent strong language to protect this shape from copycats. You'll notice there's 2 vents on each end. The top crest of the cover plate drops straight down to add stiffness. I know some of you would challenge me and say, hey, I've seen Marine bands that were smashed, completely crushed. Yeah, that might be true. I may have done that once or twice too when I got a little bit too passionate. But overall, it did a pretty good job of maintaining its integrity. The vents are super important, I say, for 2 reasons. When a player has excessive pressure built up inside the instrument, you need it to exhaust. And the quickest way to do that is through the side ports over here. See these? The second reason the vents are really important is for anybody who's done studio work or even playing on the bandstand. One thing we wanted more than anything is to hear ourselves. And so the side vents act as near field monitors. Let's take a look. Let's zoom into the future. Today, the Marine Band crossover. This is an extremely popular Hohner harmonica. The comb is different. It's made of a composite bamboo. The artwork on the top has changed. On the bottom, it's still ornate and crazy looking. But look at the curvature. Look at it from a side profile. It's exactly the same. Let me line it up to this one so you can see. It hasn't changed since 1896, vents and all. The thing that changed is Hohner took a cue from us customizers and we opened the back. And how we do that is we raise the crest of the cover plates and then we take the fold and we press that onto itself. And it's much stiffer than the other design, by the way. But what do you see? What do you see? You see a wide open, again, cover plates are the megaphone of your diatonic harmonica and chromatic harmonicas. So I'll put one on top of each other and you can see, and you can just imagine if this was an air tunnel, you're going to get a lot more sound projection out of an open back cover plate harmonica. Let's go back. Let's go way back to my collection. In 1973, I know you're going to look at this and go, holy smoke, he didn't play much. But I had a set that I actually protected, and it's in a box called Vintage Harmonicas now. So this is my first blues harp. I mean, after all, who doesn't want to sound bluesy, right? Well, that was my thinking. I went straight for the blues harp. And then you can see the cover plates are different, but the body is identical to the Marine Band. Let me show you. Okay. But what you'll notice is they lower the profile on the blues harp cover plates and remove the vents. And the back folds are still there. And so what they did is they muted. By making these alterations to the cover plate, they actually muted the sound projection, and the overall voicing on this is a warm. Some will say warm. Okay, I say muted. In fact, let's pop it open. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. And you remember, these are with nails. And so this tool is very, very handy to pop open the cover plates. You can see the nails. I call them brads. Pop off. Okay. Yeah, so by way of comparison, let me take the Marine Band, pop that open. Look at that. It's identical. See? So, you know, Hohner wasn't the only one to take a basic chassis and put a different body on it. Anybody who's ever owned or driven a Ford Mustang in 1965, it started out as it was built on the Falcon, the Ford Falcon. And then for those of you who drive Chevrolet Camaros, that started out as a Chevy Nova, okay? So once you have a perfect platform, chassis, if you will, then you can put whatever body you want on top of it. And Hohner certainly was a master at this. This came out in 1965. Herb Schreiner, he was a fabulous TV host and an excellent harmonica player. Who would have known? So they built a harmonica called the Hoosier Boy from Indiana. Look how ornate that cover plate is. But you're looking, you go, hey, HARPSMITH, this is looking very much like a Marine Band. You got it. You got it. So let's take a look at, let's see if I can pop this dude off. Oops, I'm smashing it. Oh, man. Okay, so that brad was on there really tight. Don't tell anybody I did that. Take a look. What does that look like to you? So the Herb Schreiner Hoosier Boy harmonica from 1965 is exactly the Marine Band 1896 with different cover plates. Okay, so Hohner was very good at marketing. Their boxes were great, their cover plates were great, and you would take the same instrument and make it look and sound different by changing the cover plates. I have more to show you, let's get this marine band stuff out of the way. In the late 1980s, Hohner management made a strong push for factory automation. In fact, they built a new assembly line, MS. This represents the modular system. In fact, when I toured Trossingen, it appeared half the assembly line was machine and half was still human. But out of this came a new product line. What you see in front of you is the new version of the blues harp, the harmonica that I showed you based on the old 1896. Well, the new MS harmonicas are standalone different harmonicas. The reed plates are different. The reeds are different. The combs are different. This is a parawood comb here, but they have injection molded ABS, sort of like the Special 20. They even have the aluminum comb, which you would find on the Meister class. So what they discovered was you can quickly build and market many different harmonicas based on the same platform. Quickly, I'll show you some of the ones I gathered up over the years. Martin & Company, the guitar company, did not make harmonicas. They hired Hohner to make them with their cover plates. What's this one here? This one over here, a little bit difficult to see, but this one says the Pro Harp. The Pro Harp was a part of the original MS series. This one was actually a very popular one called the Cross Harp. Probably many of you watching this are nodding your head going, yeah, I remember that harmonica. Nowadays, you can see the MS harmonica show up as the Bob Dylan harmonica, the Steve Tyler harmonica, the John Lennon harmonica. So virtually any harmonica that you want to feature can easily be done on the MS platform. Let's take a look at how easy it is to swap. So this harmonica here in the States is known as the Big River Harp. When I was in Germany, I saw that they were selling the MS harmonica as a marine band MS. How about that? And if you'll notice the styling of the curvature, doesn't that remind you of the marine band? And it even has the vents. So let's suppose you own this harmonica, but you don't like the index comb. You don't like the plastic comb. So with your posi screwdriver, if you've ever wondered why is it regular Phillips screwdriver always strip these binding posts, it's because you need a posi drive screwdriver. Okay, so by removing the two cover plates, okay, so I'm going to put this one aside, and I have a parawood comb MS chassis, and rather than enclosed cover plates, I wanted to put vented cover plates on there, because vented cover plates will sound more acoustic, reedier, if you will. So it's a matter of swapping because it's modular. Everything fits. Everything can be swapped out. So without putting on the cover plate screws, I'm just going to pinch it so you can see it's now a different harmonica. Okay, now I have an instrument that is on a wood comb with vented cover plates that might be more to your liking. And it was just as easy as pulling out your posi drive screwdriver. Even the Meister class, let's take a look at that. I haven't opened this guy up in a long time. Meister class was a standalone aluminum comb instrument that got folded into this production line. Yeah, and by looking at it, I could see this is not the original replates. This is Meister class. Yeah, here we go. In fact, this is the identification numbers of the MS replate series. And plus you can see even the rivets on the MS series are completely different than those you find on the Marine Band. So the MS, the modular system, many of you out there have. For certain, it'd be fun for you to start swapping parts and see if that doesn't change the voicing of your instrument. Let's take a look at the next one. In 1978, building on the success of the Marine Band, Hohner developed a new harmonica called the Special 20. I heard from reliable sources this is the #1 selling harmonica on planet Earth. Not bad. What was different about the original Marine Band is the cover plate. The cover plate, if you recall, the original blues harp that I had a shallower profile, an enclosed back. So the Marine Band was the muted version of the acoustic 1896 version. Distinctly different was the comb. Let's take a look at that. Acrylonitrile, butadiene, styrene, known to friends and family as ABS plastic. It is injection molded. The replates bolt onto it, cover plates onto that, so they're able to mass produce these in ways unseen before. Let's take a look to see what you can do with your Special 20 set. Here's an original version of mine that years ago I would open up the back, but I would also cut vents and slots into my Special 20 cover plates. And so this started getting me closer to that Marine Band sound. However, I like the index comb better. It's just a preference for me. Nowadays, to avoid confusion, you won't even see the word Marine Band on the new version of the Special 20. Let's take a look at that. This is the new version. The category is called Progressive. It is the same instrument. Here, this is the original design, low profile, low crest coming up the back, enclosed back, non-vented. The next evolution of the Special 20, the Rocket. Distinctly different than the Special 20, however, is the comb. The new comb has the mouthpiece openings are about, according to my calculations, 28% larger in the mouthpiece holes than its counterpart. But the reeds that go into the reed plates that go into the rocket are absolutely identical to the Special 20. Also note it, look at the cover plate. The cover plate has that distinctive curvature to it. And look how big these monster vents are. According to my measurements, these vents are the largest of any of the diatonic harmonicas that Hohner makes. And look at the back. Again, taking a cue from us customizers is to open up the back. Again, by way of comparison, this is the out-of-the-box cover plate. This one is advertised, the Rocket is advertised as one of the loudest harmonica in their product line. This happens to be a personal favorite of mine, and my gigging harmonica is the Rocket. So we're going to use this platform to show you how easily, with just the posi drive screwdriver, you can convert your Rocket into a more muted harmonica. Oh, I also wanted to mention the Hohner understood this and came up with cover plates for the Rocket platform that were non-vented, but still has the distinctive single captive screw lockdown system. I saw earlier models in the Trossingen Museum Factory, this design, and it was popularized, of course, by Joe Falisco, because that's really all you need to secure the cover plate is just one fastener on the front. So let's take a look, and let's suppose you like the comb, you like the larger mouthpiece, but you want to get more sound, more overdrive, if you will, into your bullet mic. How do you do that? Simply by swapping out the cover plates. You'll find you're going to get a fatter, stronger tone with non-vented cover plates. Let's do that. Again, if you missed it before, the posi drive screw is absolutely essential when working with the Hohner captive screw, excuse me, not captive screw, but binding posts. All right. Those familiar with the Special 20 will see it's exactly the same. And you have 3 holes on the side. And why that's designed that way is that you can take, let's take a stock Special 20 cover plate with the centered hole and see if that marries up to, and it does. The back one. The difference here, oh, this is cool. I'll be able to show you. Okay, so putting that together, everything fits perfect as Hohner intended. The difference now is that you have no vents. So this instrument, and again, excuse the top, but I hadn't modified that yet, so you can see the fold still covers up the top part, reducing the sound projection. But what was important was to show you that Hohner anticipated players swapping cover plates from the slotted, vented rocket to just the standard special 20s. And it all fits. You'll be surprised how this will impact the sound of your playing. All right, so let's suppose you're bent on having the single hole idea transferred over to your special 20. So I'm going to get things tidy up over here, and then I'm going to key up the drill, the bit, and show you how quickly you'll be able to mount rocket vented cover plates onto your favorite special 20. In this next segment, I will demonstrate how a special 20 harmonica player can experiment with vented cover plates. Remember, the binding posts are in the front, so we're going to have to do some modification to a special 20, which has the fasteners located centered. These are the materials you're going to need. Many of you know that I'm a fan of using the drill press for all my work that way, but I wanted to make the point that you don't need to buy a drill press to do this procedure. If you have a nice electric drill, for our friends in the States here, it's 964, or across the pond, number 28. Both very, very, very close. So you're going to chuck that up into your drill. Have a block of wood available. This is just a scrap piece that I found. Center punch. And as far as screwdrivers, this is the flat blade screwdriver that works fantastic for the special 20 fasteners, but you can use any jeweler's flat screwdriver. This over here is not really necessary unless, and again, I do thousands of them, so this is a 3/16 end wrench that lines up perfectly to these nostalgic, and these are just pressed out brass nuts. And of course, many of you are probably just holding it in place while you twist, which I'm doing over here. Yeah, for you harp techs, don't lose these fasteners. I have a whole drawer of them, and I can't tell you how handy they come in for many other projects. Okay, so we're going to put aside our special 20 cover plates. And you can see this looks just like the rocket. The reed plates are identical, okay? But where the rocket would already pre-drill these holes, the special 20 only has the centered holes on its left and right side. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get the top and the bottom and face it up. So you're going to have to eyeball it. Everything is tidy here, 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 lined up in the front. And then with 1-inch 3M blue masking tape, a favorite of mine, just clamp it. Okay, and you're going to put a couple of twists here. And do the other side. Oh, see how it shifted on me? It went down. No biggie, no biggie. This is not super glue. It's just tape. So just move it, slide it, jog it over, and re-secure. There you go. That's better. Another thing that I like to do, because unless you're going to take apart the whole darn thing, I like to close off the openings to protect it from the metal shavings dropping into the mouthpiece or through here. And of course, if you have compressed air vacuum cleaner, that always is wonderful when doing drilling work. Okay, so this is secured. It's true. It's right on there. Okay, so the next step, and you know I'm a fan of center punches without hammers. This one is a spring-loaded trigger type. So I'm going to center up, and because it's offset, you're going to hold it on the edge of your block like this, okay? Let me drop it down so I can put the downward pressure on there. Oops. Okay, you heard that satisfying plunk. Okay, and you do that on both sides. Sorry for the camera bump there. Now, I realize you're probably thinking, well, aren't I going to drill all the way through? Yeah, but I think you'll like this strategy better if you only drill halfway into it. Then it's not that critical. You be straight. Okay, I'm going to have it in moderate speed. And this is going to be a little tricky because I'm going to actually hold it, do a little gymnastics here. Normally off camera, of course, well, let's see if I can do that. Let's see if I can do it and you can still see. And you can see the shaving, the metal shaving. Okay. Now you're going to start seeing the ABS plastic come up. See that? Okay. But I didn't drill all the way through yet because I want to make absolutely sure it's a dead center. So now I'm going to flip it over. So I'm blocking your way there. Okay. And you can see it passed through. So now I'm confident that it's straight. I can go all the way through. Okay. Oh, also, if you don't have, reach over, if you don't have compressed air, you don't have a vacuum cleaner, but you do have your wife's toothbrush. Don't tell her this, but hey, honey, I need to borrow your toothbrush. Give it a little bit of this. And it helps with the burrs as well if there's any burrs. Work with sharp bits, okay? If you work with sharp equipment, you won't have the burrs. Okay. Okay, again, pardon me for blocking your view. Okay, let me turn it up on edge so now you can see what I'm doing here. Let me try to get the good, yeah, that's a good angle for you. Okay, clearing it out. And then one more time. Okay, that one almost got away from me. That's why I like to use the drill press. Okay. All right, so now we're going to get the original binding post from the rocket. Or, hey, listen, if you are a fan of keeping it authentic and real, go ahead and reuse the fasteners from the Special 20. But most like to keep it contemporary with the new fasteners. Looking good, looking good. Okay, so now remove the masking tape. And you can see it did a terrific job of preventing the chips from sucking into your, see, look at that. See, that would have gone inside your instrument. Well, what do you know about that? That, as we say, looks factory. Look at that. Okay? You wouldn't know this was a Special 20. You would swear this was a rocket harmonica just by looking at the cover plate. Okay? So it is a perfect fit. And I challenge all of you to try it because it's going to make a big difference in how your instrument speaks. This particular version, again, with the vents, work really well when you are playing acoustic in front of a vocal mic, for example. And the Special 20 works really well with bullet mics. When you're trying to overdrive that cartridge and get that fat, muted, scary sound. Try it. You're going to be surprised with how effective these strategies work. Maybe not saving the best for last, but certainly the most economical and the quickest way to change the voicing of this instrument. So when you're in a pinch on the bandstand just before a gig or in the studio, try this and you'll be surprised at the difference it can make. All you need is painter's blue tape. I pre-cut little slips so that I can cover up all the vents. Earlier you saw what a difference it made for the Special 20. That defined its sound, more muted, round, brown. Especially when you go to the bullet mic, you can overdrive more of your breath through the back of the instrument and not escape off the sides. Okay, so now you understand that the Marine Band reeds are identical in the Special 20. Not the reed plates, but the reeds themselves are identical. So what we did in just a flash, we took this crossover and turned it into a Special 20. Or did we? There's one more step we can do. Here's one of the customized Special 20s that I do. And I routinely close off, not quite, but leave it stock on the upper register. The higher octave reeds I keep stock, but I open up 1 through 5. Let me turn it over so you can see. 1 through 5 is wide open. This is a super cool thing to do on your Special 20s. Try it. It will make a difference. Again, especially on when you're doing a bullet mic work. But you can emulate that on your crossover by getting your tape and closing off the opening from 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, therefore featuring the lower bottom of your 1 through 5. Did I do that right? In my confusion, I did it exactly backwards. Why didn't anybody say anything? I was made to look the fool. Okay, good thing it's just tape. All right, so I just pop it over here. And now it looks more like what I do with my Special 20s. So what you're left with is good lower bottom end sound projection. We eliminate any air escaping from the side vents. This strategy actually kicks butt. You'll be so surprised. So in today's episode, we featured sweetener number 1, which is cover plates. Sweetener number 2, we're going to dive into temperaments. And that's where things get really spicy. So if you enjoyed this episode of HARPSMITH Benchcraft, the elusive hobbyist, let me know. Comment below or send me a personal email at Kinya, Kinya, at harpsmith.com, or visit me at the website, harpsmith.com. Thank you for spending your afternoon with me. Bye for now.